good.
Oh my, Lanta. We had a few technical difficulties, so thank you for joining with us. We're using a new technology tonight. And welcome to so we're using a new thing called StreamYard, which is really cool. It lets us stream to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time, so you can watch back and watch these YouTubes, which is so cool. So my name is Danielle Hellwig. I am a independent sales director with Mary Kay, which is so fun to say still because I'm a brand new sales director as of this month. And I have with me the lovely Lisa Olivares, who is, I forget, are you a senior executive? Future executive sales director with Mary Kay. So I have been in business for about 4.5 years. Lisa has been in business about 20 years. And tonight we are going to shake up your makeup. And I'm so excited. So I had the opportunity back in January to attend a all-day workshop with somebody by the name of Robert Jones. He is an international makeup artist. He has done makeup for people like Leanne Rimes and Sheryl Crow and Selena Gomez. He does Macy's ads and Saks Fifth Avenue ads. He's done Oprah's makeup. So the guy is amazing. And so I earned a certification from him, and we just got a refresh training from him last week. So the training that I'm giving you tonight is a combination of all of that, because we get to become masters of our business in Mary Kay. And it's so fun because then we get to turn around and share it with you, our amazing customers. So tonight I'm going to teach you the art of concealing, and concealing like a pro, because this is how you prepare your skin for the best makeup look possible. And so I'm going to go through a couple of things for you. And if you're joining us tonight, thank you so much. You are probably a guest of one of our consultants and excited to learn or helping her with her training. We're glad to have you here. If you come across anything, then you have any questions on what I'm doing or what's going on, Lisa is going to be in the background working with all the comments and things that are happening on Facebook. If you find something that I talk about or a product that I'm mentioning that you're like, oh my gosh, I need that in my life, just write sold and the name of the product. So first of all, I want you to write in the name and comment with the name of your consultant and who it was that invited you, because we want to give her some credit for having you here tonight. And then if you, as we're going along, if there's something you fall in love with, write sold and the name of the product, or if you have questions about it, just write the name of the product, and we will make sure that she follows up with you so that you can fall in love with your makeup look. So as of right now, I am completely barefaced except lipstick, because we had a meeting before this and I cannot do anything without lipstick at least. So I have nothing on my face, nothing on my skin, nothing going on right now. And we are going to prepare your skin for a perfect makeup look. First and foremost, the best way that you can prepare your skin for flawless makeup is really good skincare. If you are not using one of our miracle sets, which is our early to moderate signs of aging line, or you're not using our repair set, which is our advanced signs of aging line, you have got to have a really good skincare game in order for your Facebook, or in order, sorry, just glanced to the side, in order for your makeup to look really good. Oh, this is cool, Lisa. Just so you know, it does show me the comments over on the side, which is so exciting because I get to see things as they come in. So again, technical opportunities in COVID is exciting. So you have to have a good skincare game. Your makeup game cannot be a 10 if your skincare game is a 2. I'm gonna say it again. Your makeup game cannot be a 10 if your skincare game is a 2. You have to have good skincare, because skincare is what's going to ultimately fix a lot of the things that you're trying to conceal. Good skincare will get rid of the red blotchiness and things that you have. Obviously, sometimes things happen. You know, I've got some nice little blemishes and things happening over here. Sometimes life gets stressful and our skin just decides to do whatever it decides to do. But if you have a really good skincare routine, that's the best way, first and foremost, for you to have a really good makeup game. So what we're going to do first and foremost, to have a great skincare game, the very first thing that you need to do is wash your face, and you need to moisturize. before you ever do your makeup. You have got to put on a moisturizer on your skin. And you need to allow a little bit of dry time, like 2 or 3 minutes, for your moisturizer to dry before you do anything on your makeup. And you have got to use a great eye cream, because throughout the day, your eyes lose moisture. Our skin on our eyes has no way to create moisture, so you've got to give hydration to your eyes. And at nighttime, you're going to do your eye cream on the lid of your eye and underneath. It is best during the day, if you're wearing eyeshadow, to just do it underneath. It works. I do it all the time, and I put the eye cream on the lid of my eye, but it has an even better, more flawless finish if you do not use the eye cream on the lid of your eye. So those are some tips that I learned from him. The very first thing that I'm going to do, because I have already moisturized my face, is you have got to use a great primer. So our Mary Kay foundation primer has an SPF of 15 in it. This product is amazing. It is clear. And this is the first thing that you're going to do. So you can kind of see it on my skin, and you're just going to put a thin layer of this all over your face. What the primer does is it smooths out the texture of your skin. It evens out that surface so that we're getting a really flawless surface. So maybe you have, like I do over here, I've got a couple of blemishes that are now healing. And so we want to smooth that out. I should probably take this lipstick off, but I don't have an eye makeup remover close to me right now to take it off. So you want to do a foundation primer. It smooths out the surface of your skin. It also holds your makeup on longer. It has a little bit of an oil mattifier. If you're somebody who has oily skin, use our oil mattifier. Lisa can attest to how great that product is. So you do not need any dry time on your foundation primer. So concealing. Some of the tools that I'm going to be using for you tonight are really important. And so the biggest tool that I'm going to be using as I'm working with you is actually our cream eyeshadow brush. I'm trying to figure out where I can hold this up. There you go. This is our cream eyeshadow brush. I'm not going to be using this flat part. I'm actually going to be using the edge. So what we actually recommend is you can get a second cream eyeshadow brush, and you can literally like trim it so that it's smaller so that you have a more precise tip to work with as you're concealing. And the other thing that I want you to know is that not all concealers are created equal. Concealers have undertones to them. And your consultant is empowered. She has and will know what undertones are happening. So there's 3 different undertones. It's either called warm, cool, or neutral, or it's called yellow, olive, and pink. And so if your concealer is not the right undertone, it is going to look weird. So I have a neutral undertone, and it just so happens that the light beige concealer for me is the correct undertone. So you've got to make sure it's the right undertone, otherwise it'll never blend. It will never look right for you. So our perfecting concealers in Mary Kay have a very light texture to them. Typically concealers are a little bit drier, and ours is, but it's a much lighter texture, so it's less likely to draw attention to your fine lines. And so we make a really amazing under eye corrector that you can use for any dark circles, and we're going to talk over a couple of different things that we're going to be concealing today. And one of them is dark spots. One of them is blemishes. Another one is puffiness on your eyes, dark circles. And I want you to know our under eye concealer is the same formula as our perfecting concealers, but it has like a pink, peachy undertone to it. So I actually learned that I'm not supposed to be using that because that's not my undertone. So it's not right. And so the reason I'm having you use a brush is it actually has a sponge tip applicator to it, but it's too big. You have no control over it. You'll use way too much product. So you'll see me tonight working from my hand. Yeah, concealers have undertone. You will see me working from my hand. So I put a little bit from that sponge tip applicator on my skin, and then I'm actually going to be using my brush to be able to do and create all of the rest of this. So the first thing that I'm going to do for you, and I want you to take a look at my eyes. I actually am pretty excited right now because my dark circles aren't looking so bad. I've been using our eye patches religiously. Again, great skincare game means you have a lot less to do on the makeup front. But I have this redness underneath my eyelids, and here you can see right here that I do get dark circles. I'm Italian. They're intense. And you can see I've got some blemishes that I'm going to be concealing after, a little bit of redness and pinkness on my cheeks. So we're going to work through all of that. Hyperpigmentation, age spots, all of those different things. The biggest thing about concealing is hear my heart. You have to spot treat it. You cannot conceal your whole cheek. So I have this blemish right here. You can see it. You can't conceal this whole cheek and expect this spot to go away. The reason being is this concealer matches my skin tone, but if I conceal this whole area, this is still going to look darker because it's a darker spot anyway. You have to conceal the spot itself. So that's why I encourage you to use the brush, because that's going to give you a lot more control over where your concealer is going. So let me explain what I mean by this. So I will start with my eyes, my under eyes. And he actually recommends you can do a lot less concealing on your face for your dark circles. And I'll do one before and one after so you can see the difference. Our foundation actually does a really good job concealing, but I want to show you what I mean by this like line of demarcation. So I'm going to take just a little bit on the edge of my brush, and I am going to pat through here. And you want to kind of stipple. That's this patting motion that I'm doing right here. And you want to stipple it. I'm realizing I should have brought a mirror. That is, oh wait, I have one because doing it in the camera is not as successful. So you are going to stipple here underneath, and I'm going to stay within the line of demarcation. So what does that mean? So you can see right here exactly where my darkness ends. You want to stay above that line of demarcation with your concealer, because if you go outside this and go past it, then it's just creating that two-tone look again. And the whole point of concealing is to get rid of the two different colors and make it all even. So I actually have quite a bit more there than I probably need because it is that light texture. So I start building from the bottom, and you want to blend it up on your under eye circles. You want to blend up. So then I'm going to take just a little bit. Just see how it's not on that whole brush. It's literally just on the tip. And I'm going to go right along that line of demarcation. And so see how I'm creating that right there? And then I'm going to blend it up and stay within that line of demarcation. Now, you don't want to use a ton of concealer underneath your eyes because the texture will get cakey really fast and really easily, just so you know. So see how now that I've stayed within that line of demarcation, you can't really tell where it is. Once I put my foundation on, you won't be able to notice the difference, because I'm concealing just the area that's darker. So that's a little bit about dark circles. So see how on this side, I want you to kind of see the difference between, you can see that redness is gone underneath my eyes. Looks way better. And so I'm going to do everything on this one side so you can see the difference that concealing makes when it comes to your eyes. Now, the other thing that I'm going to show you how to conceal is this blemish. So I've got, it's on this side of my face. So I have a couple of spots here that are not just, you know, regular redness. They are literally just blemishes. So I'm going to spot treat that and literally just put that concealer right on the dot. And you can actually kind of use your finger a little bit to stipple. You don't want to rub. You just kind of want to pat it and see how that has gone away a little bit more. And I might not do full concealing every single day. But if I have something that I want to look nice for, really nice photos, you will get better and faster at this the more that you do it, is the first thing I want you to know. The other thing that you can do is you can conceal like broken capillaries. So I have a little bit here and it's probably not super clear, but I'm going to get all up in this camera. You can see right here, I do have one like little broken capillary or vein where it looks veiny. The way to get rid of that is the same thing. You have to conceal and you use an itsy bitsy bit of product. Do you see how little is on that whole brush? There's like 2 little tiny dots. That's it. It does not take much. And you want to use, actually, I use just the tip of this because it gives me the precision that I need. And you're going to draw literally right along the veins. So if this were longer, like mine's pretty short, it's not big. But if you're a more ivory tone, you might have bigger veins where it's working for you. Now, you would go just along the line of that vein and you want to keep it just on that mark because, again, if you get it too outside the lines, it's going to create 2 different colors for you. And that's not going to work. It defeats the purpose. So I like stippling a little on that so that it kind of blends and that it's not cakey. And that will help you take care of those. Now, if you have scars, I had tons of scarring before I got rid of it with the microdermabrasion set because I picked at all my acne, even though I knew you weren't supposed to. When it comes to scarring and textured scarring, your pores actually allow the makeup to stick to it more. And so it's going to look different than you want it to. So what we need to do when you have scarring is you actually need to moisturize it because it won't, your pores allow makeup to stick. So when it's scarred, there's not a pore there. So the makeup's not going to stick. By lightly moisturizing a scar, it allows the makeup to stick to it and then you can conceal it. Does that make sense? I hope so. So next, I have a lot of people who have rosacea. I personally don't have rosacea, but it's usually along like your cheeks and your nose. For people who have severe rosacea, it actually creates like a dry, flaky texture, and you can't use an exfoliator on it because it's going to irritate it more. So how can you exfoliate it? You want to use a heavy moisturizer, like our Intense Moisturizing Cream. You're going to slather it on your rosacea and let it sit for like 5 minutes. It's going to loosen up some of the dead skin cells. And then it's going to let you take a washcloth in a little circular motion and you're going to be able to get off that dry, flaky texture because that texture is not going to look right underneath. And so if you have a large area of redness, you're going to conceal over the entire area. And you can use our concealer or you can use, what did I do with it? Where did it go? Where's my, hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay, I want to show you this little trick. We have something called the At Play Wipe Out Redness Stick, and it's green because green cancels out red. So I do have some redness here on my cheek, and I want to show you just a little bit what you do with it. You put just a little bit on your skin, and then you're going to blend it out. I just use like our blending brush, this one right here. And you want to kind of blend it out a little bit so that it goes over that whole area. Now, I don't have a lot of redness, so this is actually what I want to show you about how powerful this green correcting stick can be. Here's my hand. Actually, I'll do it on this hand. Actually, no, I can't do that. I'm right-handed. So my hand, not red. It's got my concealer that's there. But what I want to show you, I'm going to literally create redness so that you can see how well it works. This is our Red Roma lipstick. That is bright. It's one of my favorite colors. And I'm going to just kind of smooth this out a little bit so that you can see that whole area. So there we go. I created some redness there. Now, what I'm going to do is literally use this green stick and paint over it. Then I'm going to blend it so that it goes over the surface of it. You can get the edges very well. So you're probably like, okay, girl, I can still see some redness. Now it looks kind of like a bruise. I promise you this is going to go away. So check it out. It cancels out a lot of the redness underneath. Now I'm going to take our foundation. And this is my shade foundation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of foundation over this so you can see how well this works. I'm going to use our foundation brush, which is this brush right here. It's my favorite. It's super smooth and soft. It feels amazing. And I am going to use our foundation, which has some concealing ability in it, over that. Can I remind you how bright that red lipstick was? Like, this is how bright, I'll do it on my other hand, that red lipstick was. Like, this is a serious red. I blend it out because redness on your face doesn't have quite the stark lines that you do. But to be able to go from that redness to that redness with the green color correcting stick is amazing. Like, this product blows my brain in how well it works. Like, this is the before. This is using that corrector stick. And for $14, you cannot beat this. This crayon, like, it rotates, like, it keeps going. So this product for concealing redness is phenomenal. Like, the fact that I can go from this to this, like, that redness was right here on this whole part of my hand, and it's gone. And it's all concealed. You can't really see it. It doesn't look like a bruise anymore. So when you go over the red, it starts looking a little bit like a purple bruise, which is not cute. But trust me, trust the process. And it will look much better. So that's what this green stick is going to do on my face right here. It's going to get rid of just this little cheek of redness that I have. So the other thing that I want you to know is if you have a blemish, like an active breakout that's like not popped yet or hasn't gone away yet and is there, if you actually take a Q-tip with a little bit of Visine, it can get rid of the redness, because Visine is actually designed to take away some redness. So you can use that, then you can conceal it, and after the foundation, it's going to look amazing. Acne scarring, which was a big thing for me. It creates this texture of scarring, and it creates these like hills and valleys in your skin. You want to make your skin as matte as possible, so that you're not seeing the redness of the acne scarring. So how do you do that? You do it with powders. You use a matte foundation of ours. And you actually, when you have acne scarring, you don't want to use eyeshadow that has shimmer in it. You want to use mattes, because that shimmer is going to pick up on the redness. It's just what happens. You can use a little like shimmer on your gloss, but you don't want to over conceal your scarring, because it's actually going to draw attention to it. I also have people ask me about freckles, and don't conceal them. They're angel kisses. They're cute and pretty. Don't do it. And they actually are shown to make you look younger. So you can enjoy that. Under eye puffiness. So that is what I also have. I get a mix of the puffiness along with the dark circles. And so it creates, you want, the puffiness creates like this visual indentation on your eye, where you can see the puffiness. And so what you actually want to do is you don't want to conceal the whole area. You actually just conceal underneath. So on this side, and I don't have any puffiness because I've been using those eye patches so regularly. It's so exciting. But what you would do, there is like a little tiny bit right underneath. So what I want to show you how to do is you actually don't conceal all of the puffiness. You conceal underneath the shadow only. You get rid of the line of where the puffiness starts. And see how much better that looks? Like it doesn't look puffy anymore because the line is gone. And I actually need to do just a little bit more right under here. And so that little bit of puffiness that was just below my eye line is totally gone because you got rid of the line. You got rid of the indentation. So next, what we're going to do, the last area that we're going to conceal is actually going to be your eyelids. And I want to give you a quick show of why. You actually want to conceal your eyelids. You'll notice there are no eyelids on this planet that don't have more than one color. So I have some like kind of purpley looking. It's a little lighter up here. You can tell it's even lighter here, a little bit of redness. You can see all the veins. Everybody's eyes actually have multiple colors in them. And so if you want your eye makeup to look poppin', and this is where you are going to use the flat part of the brush. So you can see I'm using that a little bit more. You are going to conceal your entire eyelid. I should have, oh no, I'm doing this on the right way. It's backwards on the camera, so it's a little confusing, folks. And you want to make sure as you're concealing your eyelid that you go all the way down into this lash line right here. I don't have lashes. It's time for me to use our lash and eyebrow growing serum again. It's just a lifelong battle that I've had that I pulled them out. And so right now I don't have any eyelashes. But you're going to conceal your whole entire eyelid. Make sure you conceal this inside corner of your eye. This spot is the area that's going to get the darkest the fastest. And so you want to, ooh, that's way too much concealer. Our concealer goes a really long way. So for $16, you cannot argue. It will last you so long, like so long. So you actually want to conceal the entire eyelid because see how now it gives you a blank canvas? So the last thing that you do before you put on your foundation is that you actually, and I think I'm getting this all over my shirt because look, I started with that amount of foundation on my hand. I still have this much less and I concealed my whole face already. I didn't do the one eye, but I want to show you the difference. So before you start doing your eyeshadow or your foundation, you actually have to set your concealer. If you don't set your concealer, once you put foundation on top of it, it's just going to wipe it away. So all that hard work that you just did will disappear, which is really frustrating. So you are going to use a powder. Now, you could use our translucent powder, but typically if you use our translucent powder in your eye areas, it's going to settle into all your fine lines and wrinkles because there's a little bit of shimmer to it and you don't want to use that. So what you actually want to use is our mineral powder foundation. Ooh, look, I can create a mirror of myself. So what you want to do is open this slightly and using, I just use our all over powder brush, which is this brush right here. It's like a half moon. And I'm really excited because I cleaned my brushes for you tonight. So they were not gross. And what you're going to do is just shake out a little bit of powder on the lid. And we are literally going to powder over all of the areas that we just concealed. So we're going to powder over, yes, your entire eyelid is going to get powdered so that we set the concealer there. Make sure you do that little inner corner. you're going to conceal all of that under eye that we did and we worked so hard to make look cute and not puffy or dark. And you're going to do it with a color that matches your face. So I did a little here, so I'm going to set this. I also concealed over here on these blemishes, so I'm going to get rid of those and do a little bit of setting there. And I did a little bit over here on this capillary. I can't even tell where it is anymore because it's gone, which is so cool. But I think it was right here. I am going to do this. I have like a little bit of like a minor reindeer thing happening right here. I'm a little Rudolphy right there on the tip of my nose. So I'm going to do that too. So now that it's set, what you do is you come in with our amazing Time Wise Miracle Foundation. I love this stuff. So it's our Time Wise 3D. I happen to be using our matte foundation. In the winter, I use our Luminous because I need a little bit more moisture. So what you do with this, and I'm actually going to get rid of, I'll do it on a different part of my hand. I still use my hand as a canvas. And I'm using our liquid foundation brush to put this on with. I'm actually going to get rid of that little bit of green concealer stick that's on there. Not that it's really going to do anything. But so a clean brush, and I'm going to use this, and now is when I'm going to literally do my entire foundation all over my face. I like to just kind of put the foundation all over and then spread it out. That's kind of my method. There are, oops, I just went into the concealer. And you're going to see like, girl, that ain't your color. I promise you, it morphs to your skin tone. It goes on lighter. And anytime you're doing your foundation, you actually want to do all of your makeup in strokes going down because your porous face going down. So it's going to make your skin look real flawless. Go around your nose, on my cheeks. You want to blend it back into your hairline. And so the reason I love this foundation is that it is actually a continuation of our skincare. Can I get an amen for that? It has the same anti-aging ingredients from our Miracle set. It has it all in the foundation itself. It's life-proof, which means it is heat and humidity resistant, which is phenomenal here in Sacramento because it gets hot and I get sweaty. Lisa's in Tennessee, so she gets swampy and humid and gross. But you can see now as I'm going over this, once I get to my eyes, I actually rotate the brush and give it just a little bit here. And I actually just stipple and pat the foundation over the whole eye, over all of that under eye where I just did the concealing. And I like to just take my finger and do a little bit on those inner corner parts of my eye because that part gets really dark and I concealed it. So I want it to blend now. I was using the wrong finger. It had red lipstick on it. And so I'm going to give this a second to kind of finish drying because what happens with this foundation is that as it dries, it morphs more so to your skin color. So you can see now, wow, even I'm amazed. Like I have no dark circle here. It's completely gone. Like I look like I got 1,000,000 hours of sleep. And so this looks completely flawless. You can see just a little bit of my blemish over here, but that's honestly because it's more of a scar at this point than it is a blemish. You got to blend this down here. And so, and my lighting is terrible in this room, but what I want you to see is that You can't see the capillary on my skin. My nose doesn't look like Rudolph. The redness is gone. The dark circles are gone. And I want you to look at my eyelids. This one has the concealer, this one has the concealer, and this one doesn't. You can see what a difference it makes when it comes to eyeshadow. So I want to show you just real quickly before I wrap up the difference that it really makes when it comes to doing your eyeshadow with a concealer on it. Now we're going to do a couple of weeks. It is like sleeping at 2. We're going to do a couple of weeks training where we go over eyeshadow. So don't worry. This isn't going to be the only get that you go or any opportunity you have to look at eyeshadow. But I just want to show you the vividness of color that you get, and you notice it more in a few hours, to be honest, versus the eye that doesn't have the concealer versus the eye that does. So real quick, and you're going to learn so many good techniques about eyeshadow from that we learned from Robert Jones, because the man is phenomenal when it comes to eyeshadows. He bases it all off of your eye shape. But more importantly, so he goes over your eye shape, exactly how and where to apply it. To maximize the shape of your eyes. So if you have deep set eyes, and that's why we broke this down for you, because to identify your eye shape takes a little bit of practice, and we wanted to give you some opportunities to learn how to identify it, which one is right. And so we're doing that in our follow-up session. So this is the first of 4 sessions that you get to learn everything that we learned from Robert Jones. You get to learn, which is so cool, because it gives you a chance to kind of break it down. So next week we're going to be doing eyebrows, and yes, we are taking a whole week on brows. I'm just blending this a little. We're taking a whole week on brows because brows are key. They frame your whole face, and they can change an entire look by just adding brows. Now, this is coming from somebody who never used to do their brows, just for the record. I never, before Mary Kay, did brows, and what a difference they make. The biggest thing about concealing your eyes as well is that it gives you the vividness of color, but boy, does it make it blendable. Like, you can blend so much better over this concealer than you can otherwise. So this is a really quick version, but I want you to see that so this eye has the concealer on it. So you can see how well this blends. And I did this like lightning speed eyeshadow. Versus this eye, where it gets a little more stuck. It's a little harder to get into it. And you just can't see the colors nearly as well as you do as they pop on the eye that had the thing. But also, you can see your eyebrow bone so much more. So concealer is super powerful. Obviously, after this, I would do like my brows and my eyeliner and all those goodies. But I hope you learned a little bit. And I want to go over just some of the products that I used tonight so you can get a little bit of an idea, kind of price point wise, what you're looking at and what it looks at, because I get really excited because Mary Kay product is not expensive. So I used this cream eyeshadow brush, and Lisa might have to correct me on this. I don't remember if this is 12 or 14. I cannot remember off the top of my head, but it's worth every penny. Awesome brush. Our Perfecting Concealer itself was the other product that I use, is 16. Our Mary Kay 3D foundation, our foundation is 25, and this bottle will last you with daily use. It probably lasts me 4 months, so it lasts a really long time. The liquid foundation brush that I used is 14, and you can actually get our whole brush collection for 55, which is really awesome. This brush, the liquid foundation brush, and the cream eyeshadow brush do come separate. They're not part of that set, but I wanted you to know it. Now that color correcting stick, the green color correcting stick, which went over the red the red lipstick, which the other thing I just want to show you really quick, if you just went over this red lipstick with just our foundation alone, I want to show you, like, it actually does a pretty good job in and of itself of concealing redness. Like, remember how bright that was, but by concealing it with the green color correcting stick, you don't see any of it. It's all gone. So the green color correcting stick, oops, that's the wrong one. I don't have my glasses on anymore. This little green correcting stick is $14. Oh my gosh, it's the best money you'll ever spend. It lasts forever. Our foundation primer that I used is $20. What else did I use? Oh, our mineral powder foundation. I actually have no idea what this costs. I want to say maybe it's $22. Or it could be a different price. I don't entirely remember. Let me bring Lisa on. I don't know if you know these off the top of your head. I'm like, I don't know what these are. I forgot I had to add you back into the stream.
I was just enjoying watching you. You didn't have to add me back in at all.
So this mineral powder foundation is what I set all the concealer with. And I mean, obviously use our eyeshadows too in the cute little compact or our palette that it comes in with the mirror, which made my job way easier than trying to do it in the camera. But if you loved anything, I want you to put it in the chat, reach out to your consultant, and let her know. Because I feel like the best and the biggest thing I can tell you is practice. Because I learned this from Robert Jones in January, and the reason that I remember it, yes, I have notes and things, but it's because I practiced it. And now's kind of a nice opportunity when you're home with COVID to practice, because you have a little more time than you have had before. And we're going to eventually get out of quarantine. And what if you showed up at the office and you're like, ooh, like, I'm looking good. But I mean, the power of concealer, it changes your whole face. And you might not do all of it every single day, but I guarantee you that you probably want the effects of this under eye. Because this one I did just a little bit on. I didn't go in. This is the eye where I did, sorry, this is backwards, where I did the full line of demarcation. And you can't see the dark circle at all. This eye, I did it just under the puffiness, but I didn't do it here, so you can still see it. And so this is the difference that concealer makes. And before Robert Jones, I didn't conceal anything. And I'm amazed. Did you learn something, Lisa?
I cannot wait to practice this tomorrow. I am like the worst. I'm the one where you said don't over conceal. Well, no wonder it never looks like I do anything, because I probably conceal the whole cheek. So,
well, right. I learned, because if you don't,
the wand and like wipe it on my face. Well, they let
go to your inventory and get a cream color brush, because it makes all the difference in the world.
I know. I can't wait. I cannot wait, especially to find out the concealers have undertones.
I had no idea about that. So that was probably one of the most helpful things that I learned. And I was like, oh, it's good to know.
That's really exciting. Oh my gosh. We have had so many comments on Facebook. I know we've captured some of them here. And I was commenting to you too, but everybody was just in awe of watching you. So for all of our customers, like, we are so excited for you to get your hands on these amazing products, and for our consultants to start using them correctly. I'll speak to myself. And for our customers, know that everything is 100% guaranteed. So if it's not your favorite, like, we'll exchange it, and maybe you'll find something next week that you love. So everybody give Danielle a huge round of applause. I can't wait to start concealing. And to all of our friends and family out there, if you are not having, ultimate happy in your life right now, which I'm joking, right? But come join us. Like, we would so love for you to be a part of this. So definitely watch us the next 3 weeks. We are going to be giving away, and I am totally out of stock. I went to grab it before tonight. So women love to buy glam, but our big pro palette, the big like daddy of, right, of our palettes, they're magnetized on the bottom. I think that palette holds like 20 eyeshadows and 5 cheek colors and a couple bronzer squares. Like, it holds everything and it's magnetic. So for all of our friends who join us, our customers, our guests, our friends, for all four of our, there you go. Oh my gosh, we love it. We're going to be giving away a filled. Can you say filled? Like, it got exciting. We are going to be giving away a filled Pellet Pro, and we are so excited about that. Yes. So get with your consultants. Oh my gosh, get whatever you need. Let's start looking like we have concealer magic all over our faces, and come join us. You know what? Come back next week and invite more friends. And if you want more happy in your life, talk to your consultant, because we would absolutely love to share with you all of our streams of income from doing this virtually, because we have never had more fun. So let's thank Danielle Helwig, brand new sales director with Mary Kay, brand new leader. We are so excited for this. So next week, as she mentioned, we're going to be doing wow. Yeah, wow brows. And we are so excited. We are not necessarily a company that's known for our brow products, but I think you'll change your mind after next week. We've got some amazing products. So good night, everybody. We hope you just had a ball watching Concealer Magic. And next week, we'll be back with brows. Have a great evening.
Bye.